The legacy markets may be closed today, but the crypto markets never shut down, baby. We are here at the beginning of 2023, watching what might be a bull trap starting up. We're going to be talking about BTC, ETH, Solana is pumping, all that good stuff. We got some big reports coming out this week, so it's going to be a spicy start to the year. Before we get going, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel. That means a ton to us. Nothing we say is financial advice. Please do your own research when it comes to any buying and selling decisions. Happy New Year, Kevin. How are we doing today?
Doing great, man. Happy New Year to you as well. It's a pretty interesting day in the crypto market. I think I'm a bull now, so that's interesting. I'm clearly joking, but yeah, it's just to start the year this way. It's pretty like I expected it. We're pretty oversold, but we'll jump into it when we get into the charts. It's just there's a lot of bull in the charts, if you know what I mean.
A lot of bull in the charts. Okay. So we'll dive into that. We'll do a quick overview of what the week has in store on the macro side of things. So later this week, we do have some interesting data and reports coming out. On Wednesday, we get the FOMC minutes, I believe, from the December meeting. So that'll be 2 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Thursday, we have some jobs data. And then Friday, the big one is going to be non-farm payrolls and the employment rate. So unemployment was at 3.7% last time. Estimates are that it's still at 3.7%. And this is going to be one of those things where if the unemployment rate goes down, the markets are going to take a hit. If the unemployment rate goes up, the markets are going to pump, right? Because the Fed wants to get unemployment, higher. They want to have a little bit more pain out there, so that things can cool on the inflation side. People have less money, blah blah blah. So it's one of those examples of if it beats expectations, it's bad. If it loses expectations, it's good. So gonna see how this all plays out. We're still at one of those points, and we will be for a while, where the market is at the mercy of all the data that we're seeing to determine whether or not the Fed is going to keep how high the Fed needs to take rates and for how long.
Yeah, definitely. And again, in just my opinion, I don't think that inflation is going to come down or not inflation, unemployment's going to go down at all for the month of December. Obviously, I think there's a lot more jobs that are created in December as opposed to other months. So maybe see a bit of a hit if it comes down, unemployment isn't high enough, or if it's not at that 3.7% level. But it'll be interesting to see. I think that just goes in line with the entire macro view of both consumer debt, unemployment, inflation. All three of them are intertwined. So let's see if the dominoes start falling. Be interesting to look at.
Yeah, I'm curious what the seasonal employment looks like these days now that so much more commerce is done online, right? Like, back in my day, you would camp out at Best Buy or Walmart for Black Friday deals. I don't really know if that's quite as prevalent anymore. So is the same amount of seasonal help even brought on these years as compared to previous ones? There have been huge, big layoffs in tech. I'm wondering if we'll start to see the impact of that anytime soon. We don't really have anything on the earnings side quite yet, but I wouldn't be shocked if Q4 earnings, when they start to roll in later this quarter, if we're seeing some big misses. That's kind of been my thought for a while is, as things tighten up, we're going to see misses from a lot of these companies, whether it's, on the retail side, on the tech side. So that's something interesting moving forward that, if we see that, that could also lead the Fed to think that maybe they can slow things down a little bit if some of these, crazy valuations are starting to come back down to earth.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's get into the monthly close. We just had that the other day. I know it's something that you were anxiously looking at, and it didn't sound like it was particularly great for some of our favorite tokens out there.
Yeah, no. Again, the monthly close is usually a huge macro indicator for me. It tells me, where support and resistance are for certain coins, where it lies. And, most of them didn't do well. So I'm going to share the DXY just real quick, just so we have it ready. But monthly close for a lot of coins was right under, and it was battling it for a period of time between the 29th and the 30th. But On the close of the 31st, we saw a good amount of selling, and it was just enough to get under certain support levels for certain coins. Clearly, Bitcoin is well under the 19.6, under the 17.5. Those are key levels of support. And the next monthly support is 14K. It's like 13,977 or something like that. But, you know, we're still under it. We haven't retested that upper resistance level. ETH has been trading in, you know, between two support levels, support and resistance level, and hasn't touched that 1338. We'll go into it when we look at the charts for specific ones, but we did not see a lot of bullish sentiment where resistance has become support. It's more as support has become resistance for a lot of coins. Let's take a look at
Yep, let's start with the DXY.
Sweet. Yeah, the DXY, looking at this, again, this is a parallel channel. This is the inverse of what a bull trap would be. This is more of like this is actually a bull flag. The pole comes down, we're just trading parallel channel. This has been playing out for a good amount of time. So this thing has been, let's see, from Friday, November 11th, all the way to currently, you know, January 2nd. Today, January 3rd, when the markets open tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised that once we get this daily down to maybe, we lost the support right here at 103.69. So we're probably going to come down to this daily support here at 102. That would be, in my opinion, maybe the bottom where we kind of consolidate going sideways before we do a breakout to the upside. If we look at the weekly on the stochastic RSI, still extremely oversold or undervalued, and we're coming down to this level. I think there's good support here. We've seen it here. I think we just need this bounce. Again, a lot of what the DXY is doing, we can see the technical, it's going to find support. It's also extremely, the momentum is prime for the upside, but a lot of it comes down to risk assets. We want to see certain things in the traditional financial markets, the stock market, the Dow, the NASDAQ, S&Ps, other stuff, bonds, yields, all that stuff to take a hit. And the dollar obviously would go up in price just the way it's inverted from risk assets. So I think that we are going to see a pump. I'm not going to give you a time frame, but the next time we do see a significant dump on risk assets, I think we are going to see a pump, hopefully above this 105.69 level. And that's on the daily or the weekly. As we close above that on both time frames, it's probably going to give us some good support so we can start making our moves back to the upside. And I don't think it's going to go crazy, but it should be enough to bring other risk assets closer to our targets.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see as those reports come out in the coming days. They'll definitely impact the DXY. We see another hot inflation reading. That bad boy is going to shoot on up. So, you know, it's kind of just, you know, dictating a lot of what is going on right now. So let's move into crypto. Let's get into the more fun stuff. Let's talk BTC. It closed, you know, below the monthly support that you were hoping for it to. Where do we see this moving? You know, you've been talking about death crosses and all other
I know. It's
shit. Where do you see it going right now?
Making it sound like I want Bitcoin to die. No, it's great. It's a great opportunity from what we're seeing in the charts for macro. Again, on the weekly, let's just take a look at this. We've been trading in this parallel channel. We broke out of it. We're kind of just hovering right here. And I expect us to go at the most 17.5. That would be paired with this level of this falling wedge right here. And also it's a double top of this Monday, December 5th close on the weekly. So that'll be interesting to see. I don't think there's a ton of volume coming in for Bitcoin. I know we saw a pump today, but if we look at the daily stochastic RSI in comparison to where it was yesterday to seeing the percentage that it was up today, stochastic RSI is actually moving up finally pretty well, but it's not really doing much in terms of price action. We're seeing that the volumes are actually pretty low too. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I mean it's up all of 0.75%. So
right,
you know,
exactly.
It's not pumping too hard right now.
People are going crazy though. You know, what have we learned from this entire bear market about parallel channels? Ones that are going up in price tend to break to the downside. It's just the way it is. And I'm seeing that here. I'm seeing it mainly in altcoins. Altcoins have been going crazy lately. But Bitcoin and Ethereum, in my opinion, haven't made the true move to where they're probably going to go from this break of this bear flag. But yeah, I think that we're going to probably see at the most 17.5. Realistically, I think it'll be 17.2. It'll retest this bottom part of this trend line of this parallel channel. I think we'll find some good rejection. And if we go back to the monthly, like I was saying earlier, monthly 19.6, that was key. We broke through that. 17.5 was a lot of support there too. We broke through that, came through here. And if we just look at this candle by itself, this one from November 20, so it was the 1st of November in 2020, this thing just shot straight up. So in between here, there's not a ton of support. Even back here in like 2017, this is a wick. There's not a lot of support there. So next level of support I'm seeing is going to be the bottom of this where it actually opened up, and that is 13.928. So I think we still have some time on the weekly and the monthly to make progress to that downside. We still have a bunch of things coming out over the next few months. We have rates still continue to rise, and probably see the effects of those rates pretty soon, since it's been a while since they started raising rates in the beginning. So yeah, I think Bitcoin, this is a little bit of a bull trap right here. They're going to try and get people to buy in a little bit higher, and then probably just sell on them, dump it. We're going to probably just go down to those key support levels.
Okay.
Ace.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100% Ace. Agree with you there. Agree. We have more pain coming. Although, Michael Saylor bought more Bitcoin. So, we're on our way back up, Kev.
All right. That guy kind of upsets me. Because, I'm going to go on a rant here for a second. So that guy talks about Bitcoin being the future and everything like that. Yeah, I agree. Bitcoin's pretty amazing. Crypto's pretty cool. I like it. But at the end of the day, it is a tool just to make money. And this dude has the worst entry. Like, he buys at the worst entry level. He was buying during like 69K. Like, here's the thing. If he just deployed all that cash, even right now, the amount of Bitcoin that they would currently hold, MicroStrategy, would be insane. It's just poor. It's
probably a good thing. I mean, they already own a ton of it, but it's probably a good thing that they don't have as much as they could.
Absolutely.
Dump the market in a hurry.
Definitely. But it's everyone like praises that guy, and it's like, he's buying pretty high. I don't know. He's buying higher than I would. But yeah,
100%.
Let's look at Bitcoin, and let's just look at that death cross, because that you brought it up and I forgot about it. Let's see. All right, here it is. There's a death cross. We have the 50-day estimated moving average along with the 200, and this thing's getting really close. Like, it's only about a little bit over $1,000 difference between the two. Again, that means nothing. It's just this thing is narrowing, and I think by maybe the end of January, February, we might see a kiss of that cross, and that could be extremely negative for the markets. That usually leads to sell-offs in the past, but yep. So that's something to keep an eye on, and that's all I got for Bitcoin.
Start our year with a little kiss of the death cross. Not great, Kev. You're just a harbinger of bad news right now. The Grim Reaper of crypto is what I'm gonna start calling you. Okay, so let's move on from BTC to ETH next.
Absolutely. So let's see. Like I was saying, it was on the monthly. We were looking at 1338, which is this yellow line here, and then 1083. We closed below it already, 1338, back in November. In December, this was from last month, we closed right here around, let's see, 1196 about. Yeah, 1195. So we closed there, and currently where we got this green candle, it's a few days out, pumped a little bit, but I don't think we're gonna go above this yellow line. I think it's pretty much the move is to the downside. We're gonna retest this, and that would be 1, 2, and then third time we retest it, probably gonna break through to the downside in my opinion. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some type of wick that goes up to here. If things decide to get extremely bullish and people want to do a huge short squeeze and just liquidate everyone, but I don't think it's going up much higher. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum both haven't moved much over the past few days, weeks, and that's pretty much a sign to me that it's just consolidating and that they're waiting for the perfect time just to dump on the market. So is that FOMC? Is that any of the stuff that's coming out in this January? Possibly. That could be. We could just see this slow like pump for alts and Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then once that info comes out, the market's dump. I'm not even that concerned with a lot of the stochastic RSIs on some of these now. Like if we look at the monthly, we're clearly oversold. If we look at the weekly, we're coming up a little bit, but I think that there's just a ton of negative pressure, both selling and also just news in the market. People are afraid that this thing could just stay oversold for the next few months. Like I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, or if it just fluctuates back and forth extremely fast on the lower time frames. So key,
All right.
key 1,083. If you close below that, you're going down to 877. That's all you need to worry about for ETH. But I'm pretty confident it's going down to at least 1,083 in this month or next month.
Okay. Hey, listen, we haven't had any black swan events yet in 2023, so I'm going to book that as a win so far.
Feeling
All
pretty
right.
good.
Feeling pretty good. Let's keep on plugging. We got quite a few to cover, and I want to get into ApeCoin at the end because I saw you tweeting about ApeCoin, and we're gonna have a discussion about that. So let's get into Matic now.
Absolutely. So if we look at Matic on the monthly close, again, this purple line right here, the 0.7613 level, we did close below that on the monthly, barely, just barely got under it. It was at, let's see, 75.77. Came up above it. We're pumping right now. But if I look at let's go to the daily. Look at that. 1, 2, this is going up, and daily close is tonight. It's in about 2 hours or so, I think. Yeah, 2 hour and 43 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if the stochastic RSI comes up pretty high, and we start seeing some rejection maybe at that 82-cent level, maybe even this moving average right here on the daily. What is that? Is that the 20 estimated moving average? Pretty much, I don't believe this pump at all. I think that we are still going further down, whether it's 71 cents or 64 cents. And I'm talking macro here. Obviously, the day-to-day times, like anything can happen. But when I see that we close below this key level of support, that's probably going to become resistance. We're probably just going to have this wick above it, and then it's going to come back down. But it just gives me more, like I have no fear. I have nothing to worry about that this isn't going to come further down, especially as other altcoins are most likely poised to take a dump when Bitcoin and Ethereum actually make their move, and other news factors play an effect on whatever the market decides to move on, whether that's this month or next month or anytime the Fed speaks. But I do think that we're coming further down for Matic. I think that we might see a little bit more of a push to the upside. Like currently we're up 3.59%, but it's nothing crazy. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not bullish at all on Matic right now. But yeah, I think we see some good macro moves to the downside coming.
Okay. Yeah. Still, one of my biggest investments heading into 2023 is going to be It continues to be Matic. There's just so much good stuff coming to it. But you know what? Short term, I don't know. That's not my specialty. That's why you get paid the big bucks here, Kevin.
Yeah, it's short term, honestly. Like a lot of people, I think, are concerned about short-term price movement. I just like looking at the macro. It's so easy to just relax if you look at the macro.
Ace, I do think that DGOBs and Utes, those NFT projects Utes will be the one that is on Polygon. I think it may have a little impact, but I don't think it's in the grand scheme of things, it's all that big of a deal. I don't think that much volume can be attributed to Utes. What I do think is that if they have a successful move over to Polygon and things go well, I believe that more and more NFT projects could take the Polygon route, which would be bullish long term for the price of it. In addition to everything we've discussed with Nike, Starbucks, all of the other big brands that are utilizing Polygon for its many benefits, as they create their Web3 businesses.
Definitely. I think a lot of what Polygon might be pumping on a lot of other altcoins is just liquidations. Like we'll get into Solana real quick after we finish a few of these, but Solana took a huge dump and it shot right back up. Everyone that was shorting just got liquidated. So I think we are in liquidation phase of a lot of altcoins. People are just making money, chasing liquidity. And Polygon, I don't think is any exception to it. I think no one is safe in terms of those plays by institutional wallets and just leverage traders. So let's take a look at Link. This one is really interesting because on the monthly, we didn't go as low as we wanted to. We did wick below the key level of support, but we didn't wick to the key level of support or below it. So we closed the month at $5.56. So we came below this, this $5.69 level, which is white line. I'm blind. Here it is, white line right here. So we closed below it, but we didn't come down to 553 and close below that. We didn't hit 530. 530 is the key one for me. I think that's going to give the game away for Link that we're going to go sub 5, possibly even sub 4. But Link's still closing below 569 is pretty impressive in my opinion, especially on the monthly for the end of the year. We see that it pumped up. Not surprised by that. But if we look at the daily, which we had when we first opened this up, from one day, like from here to here, look how much the stochastic RSI went from oversold to almost nearly overbought, probably be in the overbought area by either tonight or tomorrow. So that's telling me that there's not a lot of strength behind some of these moves. And sure, the price looks like it's going up. It's up 2% today. Looks like it's making these higher highs and higher lows. But like I said, what did we learn from anything? What did parallel channels tell us? Tells us that the sentiment in which it's up only, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Like everyone thinks that it's going to keep just going up, but those break to the downside and those legs are just absolutely nasty when they come down. Like the FTX one that we broke out of. Granted, FTX is a black swan event, but we can go throughout the entire bear market from 69K all the way down. There's tons of them. People keep buying into them and they just collapse. So I think this is no different. When I look at Link, this is telling me, let's see the shorter time frames. Let's look at the 4 hour. I mean, this looks pretty parallel channel-ish to me. I would expect this to have a leg coming down. Where it goes, no idea. You can even see on the 4 hour like how overbought it is. Lower time frames are just telling me that there's a lot of volatility without. Sorry, I had my mind on other things, JWeb.
Get it together, man. We got money to make this year.
I know, wrong tab was open. My bad. So yeah, so that's what I'm seeing in the market right now for Link. I think we are going to come back down. We're going to close below this 569 level. and then we'll probably
need a second. Do you need a minute? Like, are you okay?
I'm good. I don't know why. I just it's this ice machine. It's getting me all confused.
It's the feds.
But,
the fucking feds, man.
I know. First day of the year too. What a great way to start. So I think that we're going to see some of these levels of support tested again on the weekly. Monthly, I think we're still going to keep coming down. I think this green candle that we're currently sitting at is going to be more of a red wick, and then the candle is probably going to close somewhere down below here. Next month or this month, depending on whatever data comes out. But not a lot of confidence in anything that's in these parallel channels right now on the lower time frames. So that's what I have for Link. I still think that we have high possibility that we're going to go to $4.48, possibly even $3.82. And this one, if it gets really bad, $2.91 isn't that crazy of a target. So could offer tons of opportunity. Possibilities just depend on whatever information and sentiment we get in the market over the next few months.
Okay, let's keep churning through them. Let's go to Cardano, your baby.
Awesome. I love Cardano.
America's coin.
America's darling. That's right. Cardano took a bit of a hit. Obviously, we saw this monthly close and went through two levels of support. So we closed below the 32.96 in November. In December, we closed below the 28.05. And my opinion was that it was going to come below that, retest, and get rejected. But we're currently sitting at what, 25 cents, 25.57. So that's telling me that we're most likely, if we look at the lower time frames, especially in the daily, look at that. Look how the daily's barely progressed at all, and the stochastic RSI is just ready to move up. That tells me that we're going to retest this 23-cent level. But if we go back to the monthly, because this is the one that's important to me, look at the support line here at 28 cents. This is the weekly support. But from here all the way down, look how much Cardano pumped. From there to there, there is absolutely no support on the monthly going all the way down. Anything right here, I think we're just going to go right to 18 cents. Not directly, not in like one day or anything like that. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just looking at the charts and I can see that this is a key level of support and there is nothing in between here and there. And I think that Cardano is likely going to come below 20 cents in the next few months. For short term, I think 23 cents is probably the next move once this bull trap kind of fades.
Okay, let's head into Sol next. It has been quite volatile. We saw it get down to like $8.30 over last weekend, and today it's pumping, it's back. Sold at $300. Let's go.
Yeah, maybe in the future. I don't know. I really don't my opinion on Sol. I don't know if it's going to be around much longer. I'm not going to feed in the FUD or anything like that. It's just something I'm not going to invest in. But I do want to point out some interesting patterns. So we can see that we were coming down here, and then look at this candle that just shot up. Like, where did this? We hit $7.97 on, what was that, Friday? No, it was Thursday night. And then we started churning coming up. We saw a massive infinity candle shoot up above where our monthly close support resistance line was, $10.94. Like, obviously on the monthly we closed way below that. We closed at, where did we close the monthly at? We closed it at $9.95. So it did pump up after it went down here, and that's still below the $10.03 level. So that tells me that we're still going down. Again, looking back on it, key support was $12.41. But if we look here from this main candle that came out in February of 21, again, very similar to Cardano, no support whatsoever through here, maybe a little bit here at $6. But I think that we're going to come down to where this found resistance and this found support. And that's about $4.15. I don't think there's anything stopping it as the market decides to go red over the next few months. Traditional markets, the dollar pumps, all that stuff, all the fun stuff we talk about. But this pump here, I think, is 100% a liquidity grab. 13% in one day for Sol, when everyone wanted to sell the crap out of it. Everyone who was going short is just destroyed. Bonk. Ace, I saw that on Twitter today. I have no idea what bonk is.
So bonk was an airdrop that was for Solana, like, NFT buyers and holders. And it was funny because we talked about DGods and Utes earlier. That's like the biggest Solana project. They announced that they're moving DGods to Ethereum. Utes are going to Polygon. And Frank, one of the guys who runs DGods, was on Twitter, like, almost kind of begging to be included, because the people who were running Bonk were like, no, you guys are leaving, so your holders don't get any of our airdrop. And so, like, the people on Solana who had been trading NFTs on there got a nice little bit of liquidity to start the year. And so, there's a lot of belief that part of, at least somewhat, a bit of the pump was people, like, converting their Bonk over to Sol to spend on more NFTs.
What a great name for a coin. Like, it's an awesome ticker. That, like, to me, when I look at that, that just, like, it's a meme coin. That's what it seemed like. So I wasn't sure what it was.
That would be a great name for a meme coin. Like, that you could just meme the shit out of that. Like, you just got bonked. Those shorts just got bonked. Like, exactly. It's really perfect. Okay, let's keep on going. You got XRP on our agenda, and then we're going to wrap it up talking about ApeCoin.
Sounds good. Yeah, XRP, extremely wild night that had. I mean, the current price is insane to me still. So last night we saw, let's go to daily. We saw this, look at this candle. What a weird candle. So it was here, it opened at around 33 cents at like 6 o'clock last night, Central Standard Time. And it wicked all the way down. It came all the way down to about 30 cents. So it lost about, what is that, 10%, 33 to 30%, plus like 10% of its value within, let's see if it was like 4 hours, the 4-hour chart. Oh, within like one candle. So that's pretty insane. But yeah, it shot all the way down, came right back up, and it actually went up another 2 cents since. So weird stuff happening with XRP. I don't know exactly what's going on. I wouldn't be surprised if people are actually like slowly offloading XRP. I'll have to take a look into that. But it might just be people are expecting this thing to go down a lot lower. I tweeted out about a month ago that it was probably going to come back to these levels around 33 cents to where it mega pumped from. And we went to like, where did XRP go during that entire summer pump? It was like, let me just pull it up. Here it is. Yep. And no, my bad. Here it is. Where the heck is it? Well, XRP was shot up to like 55, 60 cents over the summer, and it was insane. And it made no sense. People were just FOMOing in based off the SEC case. And obviously, I don't think the case is going to be settled anytime soon. I think people are starting to realize that. So I wouldn't be surprised if people are offloading XRP currently, just hopefully buy back in lower. But we did wick below this, which does tell me that on the daily, let's see the weekly too. And on the weekly, we're probably going to come down to this 31 cent level again. I wouldn't be surprised if that comes soon. If not, we could see 28 cents. I think XRP is still going to go a lot lower. I think this 22 cent, maybe the 17 cent are the key levels. We can see that there's been massive wicks to the downside. And that could just be, liquidity grabs. People are just trying to destroy longs. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see that here, as we were seeing with Sol, Cardano, and a bunch of other coins that are just pumping for no reason whatsoever. So XRP is something interesting to look at. I think it's going much lower, but what a weird candle to start the week off with last night.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's finish it up with ApeCoin. So I saw you tweeting about it the other day about how overbought it is, and this is one as someone who has been a Bored Ape holder for almost 2 years now, it's been interesting to watch this coin. So much of it is just driven by market sentiment, what is going on with Yuga Labs. So from that standpoint, I'm curious, like how it really trades similar to some of the other coins. Especially when we know that there are new uses for it that are being added. Stuff coming up where you're going to need ApeCoin if you want to be involved in parts of the Yuga ecosystem. So I'm just interested in kind of like looking at it and charting it from that standpoint.
Absolutely. So my main thing was, I think when it comes to these coins, obviously there's different utilities within crypto. Some are NFT driven, like ApeCoin or like Chili's or Gala Games, stuff like that, versus something like Cardano or Ethereum with their smart contract platforms. I think the main thing comes down to is people want to make money. And I think that the trading itself of the coin doesn't make much difference. Obviously, fundamentals come in is a huge part of it. But I think that in a bear market, people are just trying to make money, trying to liquidate, trying to just do anything they can to get the price down to where they want to buy at certain levels. So obviously, we've been seeing here on the weekly, it's nearly overbought on the weekly. And I think we're seeing this parallel channel once again. We saw one here a few weeks, and then it came right down. That was a pretty good push. That was the FTX, I believe. And then we came back up here, came down, coming up. This breaks below, obviously, this. Then
when was that most recent red candle?
This one? December 12th. December 12th.
Okay. So, yeah, so like that was the day that staking started. So,
okay.
For people that you could start staking through apestake.io and the other, for people who are in the US or Canada, like myself, anyone who's staking on some of the other platforms or directly to contract. So, that's kind of one of those things where like a lot of these big moves on the ApeCoin chart can definitely be explained by events happening within the Yuga Labs ecosystem.
Gotcha. Yeah. So obviously then that makes sense for that. If I'm looking at the greater parallel channels here, we're seeing that we're coming up to this upper resistance line on the daily. We can see the stochastic RSI is pretty overbought. The volumes are coming down, but the price is going up. That's interesting to look at. Let's go to the weekly. Within the weekly, we see there's another parallel channel. Within the other parallel channel, this is a bearish flag within a bull flag. So I think that paired with the stochastic RSI, the momentum
is that's some inception shit right there, like a flag within a flag. That's some weird stuff, man. I can't wrap my head around that.
I've definitely seen like 3 different types of flags within flags before, and it's pretty stupid stuff. I don't know. I just walk away from the coin at that point. But this one right here is telling me that we're probably going to test that upper resistance level there, that parallel channel coming to the downside, and then that'll break. It's just like it's like lining up perfectly for it just to hit it, reject, then come down to the bottom of that trend line, bring that stochastic RSI down. I think that ApeCoin is primed for some good moves. I think in this bull market that's coming up, I do believe there is a bull market, so there is some hope, JWeb. But let's see, this coming down here. There's a flag. There's a pole. I wouldn't be surprised if you see something like that.
You're going kind of robotic on me a little bit.
Can you see me now, or is it bad still?
Yep.
All right, cool.
It's better now.
So yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Like for those who are watching who don't give a shit about NFTs, I get it. The Yuga is going to be using ApeCoin in their metaverse other side. There's a lot of stuff coming up where they'll be using it. So like it could test that, but at the same time, we know that January 11th and 18th are dates where they're going to be activations beginning to happen where you're going to need ApeCoin as part of it. So I'm just wondering how much we can really rely on those channels when we have like set dates and we know of them. Now, does that mean everyone's just going to be shorting it on that day? I have no idea, but I just think it adds a different dynamic than, knowing that people are going to need to acquire more ApeCoin to use on those given dates.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like it lines up pretty well. I think that with the fundamentals, people most likely will still use ApeCoin if the price comes down, right? I mean, people who want to be a part of the ecosystem. So regardless, I think the price itself doesn't matter too much in regards to that. Is it going to come down to like $1? I have no idea. But I do think that it'll probably come down to that low right there, and then that bottom parallel channel at least. And then there's probably going to be some bullish continuation going into the macro. So I'm actually bullish on Ape. I think it's set up pretty well. It's just a matter of time before we see that bottom.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be one. It'll be fun to talk about that as the year goes on, because I know that Yuga Labs has said that they have a lot planned for ApeCoin. And, I believe them when they say that. So we'll just have to kind of see.
Sounds good. Yeah. That's all I got. Just same stuff as last year. Just a new day, new show.
New day. Okay. You love it. That's going to wrap it up for today. We're going to be back on Thursday after the markets close, kind of discuss what's going on there, get ready for the unemployment numbers on Friday, which are going to be very important. Or if it's flat, maybe it's just a nothing burger. Who the hell knows? But I think it's going to be cause some volatility. So appreciate everyone for being here. First show of the year. Excited for what 2023 has in store for us. I think we still got some more pain ahead. If you look at these crypto bear markets, it is not we've been in one for over a year now, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're in one. We're in it for another year. So we're going to keep just plugging away, though. Keep putting out content, try to help people, navigate these rocky waters and accumulate when necessary for the next bull run, because it's going to happen eventually. It's coming. So that's going to do it for today. If you're still sticking around, please like today's show. Smash the shit out of that subscribe button. We appreciate the hell out of it. Just put the hammer down. Don't actually hammer your computer, but just hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy our content, we would love it if you would share it with other people. There may be better channels out there than ours, but I doubt it. And, we have fun doing the show. So thanks for being here, everybody. Ace, appreciate all the comments. So for Kevin, for the team of FLOLiO, I am Jeremy. Have a great day, everybody. We will see you on Thursday.
See you guys.